what I call Metamorphosis Point. I'm standing over there. That is the Pruitt Ridge watershed. There's a big bowl that kind of runs back around there and then wraps around and goes back. So, Pruitt Creek flows through there. This is Mansfield Ravine. Pruitt Ridge Trail kind of runs right about there. Supposedly it peters out. I haven't tested it. Mansfield Ravine comes up from the road, goes right there, and then goes back. Some switchbacks, ends up on the meadow, and follow that all the way to the top of Plaskett. And back there, that's what is it called? That river gully. That is Plaskett Creek, and that one's Pruitt. And way out there, right there, is the top of St. Martin Rock. That's Plaskett Rock. Sand Dollar Beach is around this corner. Jade Cove is the one that's right there. Call it Metamorphosis Point because the rocks here are juxtaposed in just about every phase, igneous, not phase, but type. Igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. I don't really know the names and stuff, but this is flaky and sandy. It was compacted at one point, or it's still in the process of being compacted. See, it kind of flakes down here. Then you've got these striations of quartz crystal running through it, which means that there was some igneous activity going on. It was under immense heat and pressure. You've also got beach action here. This used to be a marine terrace that I'm standing on. There's some sand dunes kind of over this hill. That might be ophiolite right there. Not sure. Which is ancient sea floor bed. Yeah, you have something that's very sedimentary with igneous, and then you've got, I think this is schist. I'm not really sure if it's schist or shale or what, because it's got this very classic, like, flakiness to it. Kind of those shingles, that shingle shape of like shale. But then it's kind of metallic. And you got these beautiful layers running through it that looks like an owl pellet. Found an owl pellet. Then you've got bends though. So this was metamorphic, or this was sedimentary, and then it became metamorphic from the heat and pressure. So that's not from a river, that's geologic activity. And then it's turning back into sediment again. Some of this flakes off. And then you can see the boundary clear as day. And I think in a place or two, yeah, here's, look at this. And this is freaking quartz crystal. That's quartz. So, yeah, and then this looks like some sort of, I don't know what the word is, but it looks like this rock got jammed in between these two layers and placed, embedded. Now it's flaking back into sediment. It's just like the beginning and the end of the loop. It's kind of a godlike place. It's the beginning and the end. In a circle, cycle. Got these really sharp bits, really craggy. Some places you have crisscrosses. And this looks like some kind of asphalted thing going on here. Very iron dense. I don't think people did this. It's like a concretion or some sort of landslide or what. Look at that. And it's got to be schist because it's just so much softer than gneiss, and it's but it's got bended layers. And you got, you know, like this looks like some kind of like igneous almost. Like this is different. This is almost like kind of like a sedimentary basalt thing going on. I don't know, it just feels very volcanic, this piece. And then look at that. Right on top. Nice little piece of beach pebble. From an ancient beach. These little things, I don't even know how this works. It might be, it was softer inside or some kind of, well, it's some kind of cavity, obviously, so maybe it eroded because it was softer inside. Just got worn out by water. Got all these little cavities. And I just don't know why in some places it is so geometric. Like here it's kind of stringy, globby, and it looks, you can kind of almost imagine it, the sinuousness of this rock being formed. Let me see if I can find a good example. Yeah, here we go. Look at that. Bam. Very geometric. So it's just a trippy place. Beautiful, freaking crazy beautiful. Sheer drop off. It's not that bright. There's a path leading down this way. And there's a piece of rebar in the ground because obviously you need a rope. It's just a little too steep for comfort. It'd be a long swim back to Sandholder from here, let me tell you. Love to swim down there though. The waves, there were almost no waves earlier. It was tempting to want to swim around. Especially after last night having a dream about swimming in the shallow kelp forest with Wyatt. So, and then the mouth of Pruitt Creek, actually this little spit here, it spits out. You can't quite see it. You kind of can. It's a little bit of like a very thin slot canyon, like gouged out of that. That spit of land. Zoom in here. Kind of see that there's a river foliage, but then it carved a little canyon down there, and then there's at low tide that's a rocky beach you can walk on, and then there's a sandy beach kind of around the corner that some friends call $quarter Beach. And then there's the tree and Lopez Point, and way out there, barely can see it, is Point Sur and good old Cone Peak. I had the novel thought today that Cone Peak, well not Cone Peak, the Santa Lucias are a reverse thrust fault because for a long time this was the, I don't know what it's called, but like the end accretion, the accretionary wedge, I think that's the word, of the Franciscan Trench. So you got all this buildup from that subduction going on, and sort of like a very, very long-term action-reaction force, where a long time you had it building up and accumulating in one direction, and now it's crumbling back in the other direction. And because the plate is pushing, the San Andreas is pushing that rock that was an accretionary wedge northwest against the Pacific plate, not in a subduction way anymore, but transform. It's like you kind of have this residual, like elasticity going on. Oh yeah, and then also you can see alluvium and topsoil and looks like some landslide stuff laid right on top, and then there's some beach rocks. So it's just like look at this. You've got Cenozoic rock here. Cenozoic sand, mudstone. It's almost stone, not quite. And then you've got like very thin layer of beach pebble, smack right on top of probably like Jurassic or Cretaceous like schist, and then that's on top of, that's a bunch of schist down there, I think. But like kind of going in a more basaltic direction. So it's such a trip. I'm trying to think about the past of this. Got such a wide change in time scales. It's pretty cool. I've been on top right there where that tree is, and I had to go back up a hill like 1,000 feet because I got really excited going downhill and I could see my car and stuff over there. This was like a month or two ago. And then I had to go back hill and find my path down to like that upper meadow. It might be another pathway, I can't remember if that's the one or not, but I think it is. It was not a fun time. I was out of water, it was hot. One of the interesting things about St. Lucia is that you got this nice cool coastal belt. You got this nice cool coastal belt where all that nice cool air is. You start to go up and inland, and it warms up pretty fast. It's just a wall, and so all that Mediterranean hot climate is just kind of pinned up higher, and the cold air is forced to go, south. It doesn't really want to go over the hills too much, but sometimes it will. It'll roll over and squeeze up and over, but like back up there, it's probably 15 degrees warmer than it is down here. It's just like, it's basically like slower Atascadero kind of as you go up. Yeah. And at the top of Plaskett Ridge, you can actually see the Cholami Hills. Okay, I think I'm gonna go back to my house and make food. That's all for now.